Hey, Envious here. My sister talked me into making an awesome video today. It really helps during the winter time when the sun's down a lot that you have people that are standing in your corner, and I appreciate that. Thanks. So she talked me into doing a how to draw video. Since I know how to draw and my profession is teacher, I figure that's a pretty good idea. So 4 or 5 years ago, I came into a small shop, and that small shop had a box on display, and they were selling these cards, stickers, and bubble gum that didn't sell originally back in the 90s, but it's an original display, and they were selling these packs individually. And I was like, I need that in my life, because I'm a Ninja Turtles fan for a lot of reasons. They actually made me smile when I was a kid. I enjoyed pretending to be Raphael. I connected with Raphael. He was kind of an angry dude, right? I was a little bit angry when I was a kid. Then when I grew up, my buddy actually saw this sitting in the backyard, a real one, sitting in the backyard of his other friend's house. And I ended up buying this exact bus. Was my first car, and it looked like the Ninja Turtle van. So I'm an artist by trade, because I decided to draw the Ninja Turtles every second I could. So today I'm going to teach you how to draw the Ninja Turtles by opening one of these nice packs from the 90s. So I'm going to just choose one at random here, probably from the bottom. Yeah, there we go. Second series, Topps Ninja Turtles cards. And I'm going to pull open the back here. And this chewing gum is original 1990s chewing gum. Snaps right in half. Sounds like glass when it hits the table. Beautiful. All right, so we've got these cards. It's got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the back. This symbol, when I was a kid, I spent hours drawing this just to get it right with the turtle shell type feel. So we've got Without a Paddle, Dancing Bebop, Chefs of the Future, Defeating the Dragon, and Our Story Opens. Okay, so those are the ones that I'm going to choose from to teach you how to draw. Let's clean that gum dust. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure my dimensions are the same as the card. So I'm going to take the angle from the center of the card to the edge of the corner of the card and mimic that angle. And what I'll do is chop the top and bottom part, and that'll allow me to have the same dimensions on my paper as the card. Then I cut it into fourths. You'll notice that I already have a marker overlay on the card. It's actually a sheet of plastic with the grid on it. And then once I've gridded it out, I can easily place the characters. Just circles for heads, just blobs for bodies. Basic shapes. And I'm just scribbling them in. The best thing about this, the main reason I do this, is so that I no longer am scared to make a mistake. That's the number one thing that artists, well, me as a young artist, would have a problem with. I hated making mistakes in front of people especially. So doing something like this back when I was younger would have been impossible for me, because every mark had to have been perfect, or else I would be personally it attacked my identity to make a mistake in front of somebody, because I was the good artist, right? Well, I've discovered that the more perfectionism that you strive for, the slower you learn. So you can only find perfection in imperfection. I'm going to fill in some of the details using scribbly lines. Notice how I'm holding my pencil. I'm holding it way far out. It keeps it more loose. It allows me to make mistakes softly so that I can erase them out later if I needed to. And I'm just going to go put in some basic details like the hand here. Now, I didn't draw a hand. I drew angles and a basic shape of a hand. And that's what I'm doing with all of these, is just angles and basic shapes. I don't actually think I'm drawing an eye. Once you start thinking those things, your brain goes into overdrive and starts drawing symbols of eyes. Now, this is a cartoon, so you might be able to get away with it a couple times. But ultimately, you don't want to think I'm drawing whatever it is you're drawing. You should never draw what you're drawing until the very end. Just basic shapes and angles. I'm breaking every single piece of this drawing down into a small, one single pencil move, one single line, one single angle, one single shape. If you do that, you'll be successful because you're not being overwhelmed, number one. It's just like setting a goal. You have to make small steps and focus on the next step. So don't try to get the finished product on one swipe of the pencil. Just the same way you won't reach your goal in one day if it's a big goal. So just take it step by step. Look at each individual line and try your best. Now, this part was a little bit difficult because, as you can see in the reference, the black line's covering this part. I later fixed it. He doesn't have an overbite. I fixed it later. But inside the black line area was hard for me because I was using the image that you're actually seeing in that top right corner. Now I'm going in and doing a lot of the sharpening of the lines. This part's a lot easier because I have a guideline or an underdrawing, rough draft, you might say, and I'm able to go in and make adjustments. Don't get scared at this point either. You should just go for it. If you don't, then you won't ever finish. The faster you make mistakes, the better. Ultimately, I couldn't see how Michelangelo was, his facial expression. He's actually smiling on the card, and I later went in and changed it to a smile. But you just got to move forward, make decisions, rapid fire. The faster you make a decision, the faster you can see if it's going to work out, the faster you can fix it. There's no such thing as failure because you learn from your mistakes. Mistakes are so important. And I make a lot of mistakes. But if I keep an open mind and a little bit of humility, the knowledge that I make mistakes helps me in the end because I can look at it subjectively. So that face that it's terrible, but it puts the placement and it allows my brain to see the mistakes. Like I said, mistakes are super important. The more mistakes you make, the faster you make them, the faster you can fix them, and the faster you get to the final product. Mistakes are your friend. Don't be scared of them. Just move forward. That one turned out pretty good, and it helped me see some of the mistakes on the other ones. Now, growing up, I would see artists just draw freehand. without the underdrawing, which I can do, but I wish somebody would have shown me this method so that I could have learned how to do the other method quicker. Because something like this drawing would have probably taken me 3 or 4 hours back in the day. But because I know the tricks now, and I can do an underdrawing and scribble and gesture. That's what the scribbles are, is you're just gesturing the movement or the stance of the characters and people involved. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to be perfect with this. Otherwise, I'd pull out a ruler and try to get those lines straight. But I'm just having fun. And that's what you should do. Why try to get perfection and spend so much time messing around, so scared to make a mistake that you don't actually get anywhere, when you could just draw for fun? It's been such a long time since I had fun drawing. And at this point in the drawing, I still wasn't quite there. I was just doing it. It was a technical thing. I wanted you to see how to look at the angles and the shapes. And then after you get the basic underdrawing, then do some details. But once I started getting further along, and I was looking at some of my favorite characters from my youth, these guys are it. These were awesome. I love the Ninja Turtles, like I explained earlier in the video. But it wasn't even the thing that triggered my memory that life actually can be fun and enjoyable and exciting was at the very end. The very end, after I'd drawn most of everything, I started doing the outside, and we'll get there, but the outside edge of this card has, I think they're trying to make it a turtle shell, and it literally triggered some deep-rooted subconscious memory. Did you notice how I did the lines for the bricks in the back? They're supposed to get smaller on the left and bigger on the right because of foreshortening perspective. And I was doing them straight across because my brain got in the way. And I had to look at it and go, oh, yeah, that's not good. So then I had to redraw a few of them. See, mistakes are so important. Make mistakes. Make them fast. Fail. Now, the only real failure is if you don't learn. So if you learn from your mistakes, then you're good. So this is the part I was talking about. This little pattern looks like a zebra. It's actually supposed to be like a faux turtle shell pattern. And when I was drawing this around the edge, I literally traveled in time in my mind back to being a kid. I remember drawing this pattern before, these little shell scribbles, when I was trying to get the Ninja Turtle symbols and the stuff like that. And it literally filled me with such happiness and joy. So anyway, thanks for watching.